little rusty. I really need to make more videos. Hi guys, it's Louisa, and I'm going to be telling you the story of how I worked at ESPN Wide World of Sports for a week. So some basic information before we begin. Hi, my name is Louisa. I'm currently on my Disney College program. I am Fall Advantage 2019, and my role is merchandise. My home location is in Disney Springs on the west side, but I now have this secondary location, which no one has ever called it that to me, and I kind of came up with the term on my own. But I now have the secondary location of ESPN because I have the possibility of just being scheduled there, and I did have property training there. So let's just launch right into it, how I got to working at ESPN, what was it like, and yeah, I'm really excited to talk about it. So in the middle of October, I was anxiously awaiting a particular schedule drop on a Saturday night when the schedule drops for everyone at Disney, and I wanted to see if I got some certain days off because I wanted to go home and visit my family, and that's kind of the main concern. But and also just schedule drops on Saturday night are just kind of a big deal. It's really exciting to see where I'm going to be working for the week, what shifts I got. It's just, I don't know, it's really fun and exciting to me. So I was waiting, and I had my phone out. I was ready to go. I was like, okay, I'm focused, I'm ready. And the schedule drops, and I look at it, and it says SC OJT property orientation. Then for 3 shifts, it says SC Expo merch. And it's the same shift. It is from 2 to 8 p.m. And I just was like, what? This isn't my home location. Huh? And then I had to think back and rewind my little brain. I was like, oh yes, I know 100% what this is. This wasn't just a random mistake. I know 100% what this is. So back in the middle of September, maybe late September, I applied on the Hub, which is kind of like a website full of information for current Disney employees. We can look up a bunch of different things. And there was this opportunity to apply to be a part of ESPN's pinch hitter program. And basically what it was is that you were scheduled at your home location and you could be scheduled at ESPN. So it was kind of the best of both worlds. You're still working at your home location, but you could pick up in a new location. So as part of the pinch hitter program, you would come over, do a few of your shifts at ESPN and help them out when they had super big events, such as things with Run Disney, huge like championships, and other super big events at ESPN where they just, needed more manpower, I guess, to work the event. So I applied for the program because I said, hey, I love my home location, but I was like, it would be great to also check out something new, and I like to think I'm sporty. I played softball and basketball, and I also am a dancer, and I know there's this huge debate about are dancers more artistic, more athletic, and we don't need to get into that, but I do like to think that, I'm decently athletic. Come on. So I applied and I didn't hear anything back. I didn't get an email or anything like that, so I was like, okay. Then when the extension applications went out, there was something, there was a question or a box you could check that said, I'm willing to work at my home location and also be cross-trained at ESPN. And I put yes in that box because that was true. I was willing to also work at ESPN. And then when extension offers came around, a bunch of people said, oh, my offer is same role, same location, plus being cross-trained over at ESPN. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm not one of those people. I guess I just am not working at ESPN. Okay, cool. Because I got a different extension offer. That was not the one I got. So then just magically, this schedule drops and I was like, oh, I guess I got the pinch hitter program. And that's exactly what happened. It turned out I had been picked to be a part of the pinch hitter program, which was awesome. I'm so thankful to them, and I was really excited about the opportunity. I was a little nervous because I was like, okay, I have to do a whole new orientation, and I didn't know who else was picked or anything like that, so I was like, I really hope I like it. So the costume, and I will insert a picture of myself wearing it, the costume for ESPN is so comfortable. I love it. I love the shirt. I think it's so sporty and so cool, and I felt really cute in it. I can't tell a lie. I just absolutely love the costume, and it was super comfortable. And what's cool about the ESPN costume is that you can wear ball caps. There are certain restrictions. but you can wear ball caps, and I am a ball cap loving girl, so that was awesome to know. Anyway, so pick up the costume before I go to my property orientation at ESPN, and when I went to my property training, you know, I didn't know if I was going to be the only one or what, and I want to say there were about 7 other people in my property training. A few of the people in the group were CPs, and then other people in the group were full-time employees of the company. The trainers were super, super nice. I can't really say enough. Everyone at ESPN is super nice. So I had my property orientation, and then it turns out I was actually pulled to work over at ESPN because this week, this is the Saturday of it, was the Run Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekends. It's a very big weekend here at Disney. I didn't know it existed until a couple weeks ago when I was like, why could I be going over to ESPN? Oh, it involves a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon. When I was at ESPN this week, I was working the Run Disney Health and Fitness Expo. I was in the big arena at the ESPN Sports Complex, and I was on register. That's pretty much what I was. There's this area where all the Run Disney merchandise, specific merchandise for that particular race is, and then there were just a whole line of registers, and people come through and buy their specific race merchandise. I worked Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of the Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekend. So they were just 6-hour shifts, pretty standard. So Thursday and Friday were really similar shifts, and then today's shift was a little bit different. So I'll talk about that later. But Thursday and Friday, pretty much I got there, I got put on this register, and I really didn't stop. There really weren't lulls. It was very busy. There was like a queue for the registers. I was on register and standing for pretty much 6 hours. The expo closed at 7, so from 7 to 8, I was cleaning up, tidying merchandise, doing go-backs, things like that. So that last hour I wasn't on register theoretically. I was more closing, if you will. But for the other 5 hours of that particular shift, I was constantly talking to guests, and I was on that register, which made the shift go by so quickly. Honestly, working the expo, that may have been the most guest interaction I've had in a shift. A bunch of people that were there working were EHH. There were a ton of EHH shifts on the hub for this particular event. So what was kind of nice is that really no one knew what they were doing. We all were trying to help each other. Everyone was super nice, and we all kind of figured it out together. Today, Saturday, the expo closed at 3 as opposed to 7, and today was the last day for the expo, and my shift was the same as it had been on Thursday and Friday. My shift was from 2 to 8. So the expo closed at 3. I was on the register for an hour, and then I said, okay, well, I know we're gonna have to like bundle up this merchandise and do things like that. So it became all about, you know, taking the merchandise that was left and putting it on pallets and, you know, boxing it up and things like that. But it kind of became clear that they weren't going to need us until 8, and so I actually got ER'd for 6. And it felt like after you do a show and you're striking the show, you're striking the scenery, you're striking everything. That's kind of what it felt like. And that was my week of working at ESPN. The complex is just beautiful. Those fields are professionally maintained. I can talk. And it reminded me of just kind of getting ready for a football game back when I was in high school, like before a football game, kind of like that energy. It was really fun, and I really liked working at that particular complex. It really made me happy, and I would be happy to work at ESPN anytime in the future. I don't know when I'm going to be working at ESPN next. It could just randomly drop on my schedule again. I don't know when that'll be. So for right now, that's kind of why I'm saying, like, this is my week of working at ESPN, because I don't know when I'm working at ESPN again. A lot of people have said possibly January, but I don't know what's going on in January. January is kind of a hot mess of a month right now. I have no idea what's going on in January. So I just wanted to talk about working at ESPN now because, well, it's still fresh in my mind, and because I had a really positive experience. So if you are in merchandise at Disney and you see an EHH shift pop up on the hub to work at ESPN, I highly, highly recommend it. But tomorrow I go back to my lovely home location, which I'm very happy about as well, because I have missed my fellow cast members and everyone on the west side, so I am very excited to go back and see them and also just work back on the west side. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon with a brand new video. Bye-bye!